This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show. This is an intro. Who needs an intro? I don't need an intro. This is just a vape show. It's just a vape show. Vape show.
YouTube, what is up? I'm your homeboy, OhmBoy Josh, back at you, and today we're taking a look at the Recoil RDA from Grimm Green and OhmBoyOC. OhmBoyOC.
Hey, wait a minute. If you're OhmBoy Josh and he's OhmBoyOC, does that make you guys
no relation? But before we get into this review, I do want to take the time to remind you we all have a part to play in the fight against Big Pharma, Big Tobacco, the FDA, and the deeming regulations that are looming over our heads.
That means that if you're on social media, remember to paint the best possible image of the vape community that you can. If you're a shop or a shop owner, remember to remind your customers that they need to get in on this fight if they want to keep vaping. And follow all your calls to action, including those to support HR 2058 and the Cole Bishop Amendment. We all have a part to play.
That little intro right there is part of YouTubers for Advocacy. And YouTubers for Advocacy was actually founded by Grimm Green. I was told that I should contact him by Vaping Heathen. I did, and Grimm Green filled me in on what I needed to do, which is basically every video talk to you guys a bit about advocacy at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, ideally. Grimm Green is basically the face of vaping and vapers. If you know me but you don't know Grimm Green, there's a problem.
Dude, in what world will that ever happen? I'm sorry.
You need to go check out his channel. And OhmBoyOC is basically one of the greatest builders out there right now. He's got a number of original concepts under his belt, and when I was learning to make an alien coil, his video is probably one of the most helpful ones out there for me. OhmBoyOC, Grimm Green, they have kind of a bromance going on. They came out with this RDA called the Recoil. It's kind of funny, recoil, like recoil in RDA. I like it. It makes me chuckle inside. This was sent on over free for the purpose of this review by thecloudyvapor.com. Great shop out there. It's something like $60, $65, something like that for an authentic piece with OhmBoyOC and Grimm Green's name attached to it. It's pretty sweet.
The Recoil RDA is $59.99 at thecloudyvapor.com. It comes in a black and stainless steel finish, and remember to use code SAVE5 at checkout for $5 off your cart.
Every sale at thecloudyvapor.com, $1.77 goes to CASAA. If you use the link in the description, it's an affiliate link and you'll be supporting the channel, and I appreciate it. Clouds, bro, clouds.
He didn't really just say that, did he? Bro.
Had to say it. I'm sorry. I had to say it. The flavor is great. The airflow is great. It's got dual airflow, non-adjustable airflow. It's got these two airflow holes on either side. You can't close them off. You can't open them up at all. So it's basically you vape what you got.
With the top caps, you get two of these guys, and one is the Flavor Bro Flavor Cap, and the other one is the Clouds Bro Clouds Cap. Clouds Bro Clouds Cap having much larger airflow holes. It's probably something like 4 3mm air holes versus 4 2mm air holes. Something like that is what it is. If you want lots and lots of clouds, you go with the Clouds Bro Clouds Cap. If you want more flavor, you go with the Flavor Bro Flavor Cap.
For an RDA like that, the airflow has to be pretty darn good. It can't be too open, it can't be too closed, or else, you know, you're going to alienate a lot of vapors. For what it is, it's actually still really nice. But of those two, I like the airier cap a little bit better. The airflow holes are kind of angled downward, and they're set up so that they're going to hit the coil at an angle.
And the idea is that the airflow is going to sort of shoot down right at the coil and sort of underneath the coil, and it's going to swoosh back up through the chamber. That's the theory anyway. Does it work that way? More or less, I'd say so. The thing about it though is that the top cap, as a result of making sure that that airflow has enough of a chamber but through that angle to travel, the top cap is extremely thick, which means that it leads to some other issues with the RDA. It takes up a lot of the deck space. Deck itself is sort of shrunken down, a lot smaller than something that you'd find even on a standard 22mm RDA.
The deck itself, I like it for the most part. At first, I thought it was a 22mm RDA.
No bro, no. It's actually a 24mm RDA.
If I put it down on this K-box, it sits inside the K-box there. So the deck, in my eyes, is not the biggest build space. It's a little bit narrow between the posts and the deck. I kind of wish that that was a little bit wider, allow a little bit more room to build. That would be nice, especially since we've got a 24mm RDA here, because it's coming out over the K-box now. So
the thing is, it's just that you'd expect a 24mm RDA to have a very ample deck, an ample build space. And this is an RDA that you don't get that benefit with the 24mm RDA. You're basically getting a 24mm RDA that's not going to sit properly on a lot of your 22mm devices, and the only real benefit that you're getting from this is that the airflow is able to sort of shoot down at the coil at this angle. It's a trade-off with a 24mm RDA in my book. In this case, the trade-off is for sort of an interesting kind of airflow system. Is it worth the trade-off? If you ask me, I mean, that's going to be for you to decide. It's different, I'll say that much.
yeah, it's a 24mm footprint, but the deck is smaller than you'd find on most 22mm Addies, and that's because the barrel is so thick. The air has to travel down through that angle long enough that it's going to perform the way that it's supposed to. That's going to create that airflow that goes underneath the coil. That's why it has to be such a thick top cap, I would think. So I understand why it's that way, but I'm not benefiting in terms of build space from that 24mm footprint. It's just about the airflow. Like if it had a larger deck space, that would be really nice, if I'm being critical.
What is nice though is that the deck does have some flathead screws for the grub screws. I really love some flathead screws, man. Flathead screws are awesome because you're not dependent on this little Allen key tool that comes in the box that if you lose it, you're more or less, well, funked. It does have a really nice deep juice well too. It's about a 6mm well.
What I like about the deck a lot though is that the negative posts are raised up a bit. It allows you to fit your coil in without having to bend your leads in a certain way so that it'll be accommodated. Kind of like a velocity kind of thing, but in a quad post design. It works. And I also like it for wicking. The top lead is always going to be on the negative side, so it makes wicking very, very easy. And I'm actually still only rocking this in a single coil configuration, even though it's a dual coil RDA.
Oh yeah, with that half staggered staple, the one you made for Coil Wars, right? Shameless plug.
Oh yes, it rocks in a dual coil configuration. I mean, that's a given. Especially when you take that dual coil fuse Clapton and split it into a quad coil sleeper build. Angle those 4 airflow holes so it's one on each of the split coils in the sleeper. Oh yeah. That right there is something magical, let me tell you. Here. I mean, the flavor is very, very good. Top cap has a nice conical design, which is aiding in the flavor quite a bit. I love that. That's a feature that kind of went by the wayside. People stopped using conical top caps, and I don't know why, because they produce excellent flavor. My favorite part probably is the top cap. That's removable. I like that because it's really easy for me to access my build and just re-drip. I just take off the top cap sometimes if I don't want to drip through the drip tip, and just juice the coil like that and pop the hat back on. I like that a lot. It's got a good chuff cap here, and you can buy chuff caps from Double Helix Designs. Crispy Caps is also making chuff caps for it, so there are drip tip options available. It's very, very cloudy. It's very, very tasty too. It's a good vape. I'm surprised that the drip tip's not getting hot on me. The Delrin must be really nice Delrin because the drip tip is actually anchored in there over metal. So in my experience, when Delrin goes over metal, it really doesn't do a whole lot to cool the drip tip down. But this one it really is, which is surprising me. It works really well. You know, I kind of like this small airflow cap a little bit more than I thought I did. It's alright. I like it. I do. I think Grimm and OhmBoyOC did a good job with this one. Overall, the deck could be a little bit larger. The build space could be a little bit bigger. I mean, it's a smaller build space than I would expect to see on a 24mm RDA. That's the only thing I question, really.
And if you want to continue to see products like the Recoil RDA on the market, remember to do your part and support HR 2058 and the Cole Bishop Amendment. Getting that predicate date changed is the only way that vaping has a future.
Anyway, guys, that's the Recoil RDA from Grimm Green and OhmBoyOC. You can pick it up at thecloudyvapor.com. Till next time, I'm your homeboy, OhmBoy Josh. Vape on, Vapers.